Hey, you, do me a favor, subscribe to this channel.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode. I've got a great guest on the air, all the way from Russia. Please introduce yourself and tell us about your band.
Hello, guys. My name is Stan. I'm a drummer of the band called GORODA. Means cities. So we recently released a new track called "Do Something Wrong" with Bobby Amaru of Saliva. So I hope you liked it. Got a pretty stuff soon, pretty cool stuff. Also with a couple of the bands, but so far it's a secret. But soon you'll hear it.
One of the most fun things for me is receiving music from all over the world and seeing different nationalities put their own like little bit of an input on the music. And your music is it's quite interesting. It's progressive, but it's quite catchy as well. It's got those like very traditional hooks, but it's very creative. Some screamo vocals in, and some clean vocals. Nice jazzy feel to it. I think it's amazing. Just before this started, you were telling me about a big festival that you guys are preparing for me. Tell me about that. Which bands are on the lineup? Who's your favorite band on the lineup? And yeah, tell me about the Russian scene in general.
Yeah, sure. So about the festival, it's called ABALAK. This one of the biggest metal festivals that actually happening in Russia. There are two of them. One of them is called it's a Russian name, but on English manner it would be a pilot. It's like a literal translation. It's called pilot. So the second one is Abalak. There will be lineup will be pretty heavy. One of the most, I believe, pretty cool bands from my point of view. It's called Slut. They also playing an alternative music. It's a kind of a new metal with like the rap core mixing with like metal metal guitars, heavy guitars. So yeah, it's pretty cool. For in general, if about the scene, the Russian scene, like the music, mostly in Russia, pop music, I believe is like the high tier of the if we talk about the music in general. Metal is not that popular here in Russia, but if for example you'll bring one or two metal bands here in Russia, you'll be it will be sold out for sure.
Oh, one Russian band that, well, I think everyone knows by now is Slaughter to Prevail.
Oh yeah.
So fucking heavy. So cool. So there's definitely something interesting about the Russian scene. So tell me about your influence. So previously, I've had a guest on the air, and it was interesting to know how their music career started. Where when you're in a country that's not the US or the UK or Europe, sometimes it's difficult to come by like kind of the underground music and stuff. So tell me about your journey specifically in how did you get into the metal and the alternative scene.
When we first our the name of the band means cities. Why cities? Because we all originally from the different cities and we united here in Moscow. For the cities, we also played a different styles, different genres. For example, our guitar player, he likes like Breaking Benjamin, like 3 Days Grace. For me as a drummer, I'm in the past life, in the previous life, I've been a deathcore drummer. So I like the blast beats, all that's over 200 BPM. That's my nature. Our vocalist, he's like more Asking Alexandria style. He likes this kind of music. We have the on the keyboards, the piano. Uh, he likes classic music, and we all playing rock. So as a beginning, we just started, started just for fun. We just liked the music. We started to play together, and then out of a sudden, one of the festivals happened, and they invited us. So it was really funny because um, if it's like back then, we have a festival in a month, and we have no material at all. Like we have the jam sessions, the riffs, but we need to unite it somehow and create as a music, to actually write the lyrics, write the music, unite it all, and to create this music on the stage. So we had a month, and back then it was like mostly like a demo. It sounded like a demo. So, and then we realized that, yeah, it's something. It's something. And we started to make music in the way you can hear it right now. So, an idea of features, especially with Bobby Amaru, it's, came also out of a sudden because, as you probably heard, they came to Russia and we supported them. We met Bobby, met the guys. They are awesome, amazing people. So amazing musicians as well. And we invited Bobby to our studio to show how we do music, how do we rehearse, we actually all the studio stuff. And we just offer him, like, we have a riff. It's a pretty cool song, and it's originally on English. It's not on Russian. Bobby liked that, and our guitar player said, "Okay, let's record it. Let's make a feature." So yeah, the feature also like came out of a sudden. Nobody expected that Bobby will say like, "Yeah, let's go, let's rock, guys." So yeah, I believe our way of musicians pretty probably same as everybody's, because we didn't put the belief that it will happen the way that happening right now, because we just started, and I don't know. It is what it is. So it happened. It's actually people like that. I believe every musician at the start never will tell you like, yeah, our goal is like to the big stage, a bunch of people in front of you. You just do.
So let's just take a step back. So the band is basically called Cities. How did you guys meet? If you're all from different cities, how did you meet, and how does the logistics work behind that? How do you get together? And well, before now, when you guys started.
Well, before that, actually, it wasn't that decent as it right now, because right now we all moved to Moscow, and there is no logistics. It's I got like 15 minutes to studio, so I just tried there, and that's all. Back then, we met on the festivals. Also rehearsed remotely, like each part learns its part, and that's all. And we just the sound check mostly is the rehearsal. So and for now it's makes pretty easy, because we all live in Moscow, and we have a pretty comfortable position of studio where it's located. So for me, like, I drive 15 minutes to studio, so yeah, it's pretty cool. But we had three of us are originally from Moscow, so it wasn't a big problem for us. But some of us, yeah, they moved to Moscow. But it's only, I believe, the first year was logistically problematic, but the rest is nice and easy.
If you have to think of the band, how you progressed from where you guys started and where you are now, how would you say you've developed?
We actually did bunch of work, because, as I mentioned before, for example, I'm as a deathcore drummer. I see, when we talk about the groove, about the creating the music, I see the music in the way probably deathcore drummer will see it. And when we started to jam, of course, yeah, blast beats were everywhere. And then I realized that we don't need the blast beats, so we need to get rid of them. It took some time. I believe it took almost a year for us, to the music will become decent on the way you can hear it right now. But so far we're playing almost 3 years together. So yeah, it's like touchy with everything, and when you're not just playing, but you feel the groove, you feel other musicians. Now it's way easier. We just almost all the music, all the sounds that we make right now, it's way easier because we feel each other, we feel the vibe, we feel the groove. So yeah, but it was pretty intense in the beginning.
feel that's very important to have that kind of chemistry between band members.
Yeah, true.
It just makes you so much better as a band. So I want to talk about your single, "Do Something Wrong." That's quite a provocative name. So let's get into the name. Who came up with it? What's it about?
Track "Do Something Wrong." It's our vocalist. This actually, we had a music for it. I believe he actually wrote it about 5 years ago, and it just it existed as a demo. So first, when he first show it to us, was pretty dry, but we said like, okay, let's do this. When Bobby joined to this feature, uh, we also it just y- y- you need just to listen when it's originally it's like completely dry. It's like nothing heavy. It's like this. For the name, I asked Vladimir several times, like what actually meant to be in this music, in this name, and he said, "Do something wrong." Basically, it's you live in the system, and it's not just like the political stuff. It's like the system of life. You have the system everywhere, and the most thing like you cannot do anything wrong. So with this music, of course, you wanted to show that there are some things you anyway you will do wrong, and it's nothing bad about this. It just will happen anyway, to you, to us, to everyone.
I feel that as musicians, especially alternative musicians and metal musicians, I think anarchy sort of comes with the territory. And I don't know, modern times are weird. I feel that everyone is so scared of, social media and cancel culture and stuff. So everyone's kind of like pulling a little bit back. But I see there's a wave of new musicians coming out where they're just like, you know what, it's kind of we're not meant to win, so fucking anarchy for days. And I love it. It's fucking interesting. It's definitely, definitely a general topic in the industry. Tell me about the future. You said there's some things coming up that you cannot mention. Like, are you guys working on some new music videos? Tell me a little bit about that.
We are currently working on new music. Some of the really big features coming on. Uh, Also, we have plans to visit US next year for the festivals. I also, unfortunately, I cannot say, like, I would like to say more, but I can't. So because so far we're making agreements and etc. etc. For the music, you will hear a lot. So far, just for I'll just I'll just say a number. Where so far we have confirmed four demos that are right now. It's already like a complete tracks. So yeah, and three features.
Well, it's pretty big stuff that you're mentioning. How does a Russian band like reach global audience? What do you guys have like a marketing strategy? Um, you know, is there like a plan, or did it come naturally? Tell me a little bit about that.
I believe first 2 years we did it naturally. So it's like in Russia here we say, if you're a musician, then go on stage, make a music, so you have an audience. Basically you will have the people who will hear you and will become your fan. So yeah, it's pretty simple. First year and a half, yeah, I would say we did that. Then for from in our band, I do the marketing plan. So I'm responsible for all the social networks, uh, because we do not have anyone on the other side who is doing it for us. So we are actually doing it, all the postings in all the social networks. So for now, yes, we do have a marketing plan, and I believe it's almost same as everywhere. You have the social networks, you have like Instagram, TikTok. You create video, create hooks, upload it, and you just see the reactions. The only difficulty right now, because we have to do it on two languages, English and Russian. And from our side, only me and vocalist Vladimir, he also speaks English. So it's pretty hard because the barrier. Our bassist player doesn't speak English. When he's drunk, he can. We actually we see because when we met Saliva when he was like, when he said like complete drive, just looking around, and then a couple of the shots, and we just saw on how he is communicating with the bassist from Saliva. There was no barrier at all. Like they completely understood each other, so it was really fun. And here in Russia, it's pretty famous in the world, like in general. You have social networks. You work with the audience. It's pretty same, but still, the live format we call it when you're on stage when you communicate with people actually came to your show because we have a lot of festivals. They are we call it multicultures when you just you do not make it for a new metal. You just unite all the genres into the festival because some of the bands playing heavier. It's like there is no difference in general. Of course, I believe in audience, the mentality, yes, it's completely different here in Russia, because it's just my example, like what I've seen. uh, let's say we'll bring uh, any metal band, any band who actually playing on English, uh, and they probably will have a sold out here in Russia. But if we will have a Russian band with no accent at all. They speak like Vladimir's. Is freely singing in English, and but we will mention it's the Russian band. People will start. Oh, here's the accent. Here's the accent. Oh yeah, music is not really good. That's the mentality. I believe. I don't know if the rest of the world, but for Russia, it works this way. That's what I actually seen.
A few topics that you mentioned that I would like to comment on. So I am from Africa, okay, and I speak an African language called Afrikaans, and that's my home language. And I'm involved with a Polish woman, and her family is Polish. And you were saying about your bassist getting drunk. So when me and my girl's dad get drunk, he speaks Polish to me, and I have no fucking clue how to speak Polish, and I speak Afrikaans to him, and fucking somehow the alcohol just creates that communication layer. Fucking makes sense. And then on the music side, you mentioned so a very interesting thing is happening in Africa as well. I think because there's so many multi genres in our music industry. Like we have new metal bands, we have the death metal guys, we've got a metalcore guys, we've got the black metal guys, and I think like there's no shows where it's deathcore. Like it's not a deathcore show that it's like five deathcore bands, or it's not a metalcore show where it's five metalcore bands. I think it's that whole mix kind of that's happening, and I think the primary reason for this is because there's not enough bands. That is what I think is happening in my country. Um, but I think it gives you a good like general energy level, because you've got the metalcore guys, and then you've got the death metal, which is a different energy. So it gives you a complete new experience. And the whole thing, I think, like in the early days of like 2012, 2013, those days, I think people were like, oh, I don't like core because core is shit music, or oh, I don't like death metal because death metal is shit music. But I don't think I don't know. In my opinion, it's not like that anymore. Because I mean, one moment I'll listen to Ed Sheeran, and then the next moment I'll listen to Born of Osiris. You know what I'm saying? It's like I feel that it became more open minded, which is really enjoyable for me.
Yeah, I agree. Same way. Yeah, same way.
I was listening to your music earlier, and I was just vibing. It's always interesting, like I mentioned earlier, to see bands from other nationalities and like kind of hear their little twist that they have, because I think everyone has their own like flavor that they add to it. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having us. I will hope we will introduce more music soon, and have a great time, day, night.
Until next time, I've been Hardman.